Okay, I'm good. Things were still loading on my end. But I am good. I'm here now. Hey, everybody.
Slorping the peener.
Slorping the peener. Today we're back on some Talespire. It's gonna be a little bit different. Quick, spell epilogue.
E-P-I-G-U-L-E.
That's wrong. Spell epilogue.
But make it your title.
Okay, what'd you say?
E-P-I-G-U-L-E.
No.
Epule.
There's a U.
Nope, that's it.
I just said wrap up because I couldn't spell it quick enough before we were starting.
Epicule. Today we're gonna be doing the Epicule for our guild campaign.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be wrapping up what our character's doing after our fight with the super good guy, just like 10 out of 10 best dude out there, Umbra. And then we're gonna go over a recap of some stuff that we missed in Kyle's campaign, since this entire world is his own creation. There's a lot of stuff that he's added in here that we either missed or didn't catch or just didn't do in any way, shape, or form. So I'm excited to find out about this stuff. So, Kyle, if you want to...
Alright, before we get into last time, things Talespire has done since our last session, they've added multiple colored bases so that you can change the bases of similar creatures and make them look different.
Or, choose whatever aspect you want for it.
Yeah, and then they also added a knockdown feature under status, so you can, actually knock things down when they die and not just get rid of them. Something exciting that they haven't said yet, but the knockdown is under status, so I'm hoping that they're gonna add, more statuses.
Like, if they had a stun status, it'll put, the circling stars over your head. That'd be cool.
Yeah, so I'm hoping for that.
Has this little green bubbles coming out of your character.
Yeah. Other things that they've added, they changed the hide volume a little bit. So now when you actually have a hide volume, the squares are a little bit easier to see. Well, that's not. They've also partnered with Hero Forge. So pretty soon, it's not out yet, we'll be able to make custom miniatures and actually have them in Talespire.
We don't know how it's going to work, so we're just kind of waiting to see. Are we going to have to purchase them as digital downloads and then upload them into the game? Is there going to be a feature that just allows us to upload straight from there? Is it going to be built into Talespire? We don't know any of these. These are just things that we're excited and curious to find out.
Yeah, and then the last thing is they said be on the lookout for a new asset pack coming out soon. If history has anything to say about that, it'll come out either tonight after we're done streaming or tomorrow morning.
Yeah, and it'll be directly relevant to something that we just did.
Yeah.
So look out for their newest giant demon form.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Get ready for their epilogue miniatures.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about specific things in here, that we missed, that we ended up not doing. And then just be like, oh yeah, no, there's miniatures for that exact thing now.
Yeah.
Man, how many times did that happen? There was the very first one that they added, the sea monsters, was right after our sea battle.
Yeah.
They just have kept on with that nonsense ever since.
Yeah, and then
they
go.
I think they're watching.
Right after the Underdark.
Yeah. Yeah, that one pissed me off because there was so many things I could have used in the Underdark.
By the way,
Goat. God, I gave Levi GM privileges.
For the last time. Just let him place one more goat.
Alright.
Oh, no more goats, you're good.
No, the goat's dead. Alright, so, last time on D&D. After final preparations, the party, along with the rest of the forward group, start on the last leg of travel to the mountain Umbra is contained in. On arrival, Garnus stops the group for outside the barrier for one last pep talk. They ready themselves, and one group after another head through the barrier, the party going last. Inside, they are unexpectedly met with a battlefield already raging and molten rocks raining down from above. The party, sticking to their plan, rush past the Mithril Guard, who are fighting fire humanoids and a walking furnace. Making their way up the cliffside, the party is bombarded with molten rocks and magic from hulking brutes and a tiefling-like creature up top. Along the way, they kill the tiefling, and at the top, the Farkle squad engage the brutes. The party then split off to climb the side of the mountain, while Garnus's group moved towards the front of the gate. They start to lose sight of the main battle, but it seems fairly evenly matched. Up top of the mountain, the party kills 2 imps and scopes out the interior of the mountain. They see more imps swarmed in groups, as well as the large fiery commander that they were told about. Getting the jump on one of the swarms, the party descends into the pit. They defeat more imps and gather. They defeat more imps and then gather to take on Umbra. As they're gathering, the fiery commander jumps towards the party, but is intercepted by the mech dragon that the party came with. The party readies themselves outside the door to Umbra's lair as it explodes into a cold mist. Stepping out is what looks to be multiple parts of demons stitched together. The party rather quickly destroys this creature, but as it begins falling apart, black ooze drips out of it, forming into a creature of darkness. The fight continues with the party laying heavy damage into the shadow creature, which is Umbra, and Umbra fighting back with blasts of cold, and at points possessing the party members. Lertug is down and brought back with the help from Vap. Akani is knocked out, but continues to fight through sheer willpower. In the end, Umbra takes one last shot as they begin vibrating and spinning. Umbra lets out a terrible scream and is obliterated. The battle being over, Akani takes a seat, looks around, and as he went beyond his own limits, his rage ends and wounds explode, and Akani dies in a way he's always wanted to. We ended last session with Lertug standing next to Vap, holding Akani as he lets out a large, mournful croak over the last bits of the battlefield outside. And so I will pull you guys to the battlefield.
I was already here. I was showcasing all the areas while you were talking.
Okay.
Cheater. Cheater, Dakota.
You misspoke. Streamer.
Yeah, that's fair. You do have different privileges.
So showcasing off a little bit of the knockdown creatures. Dab. Alright. So is everyone here?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Yep.
So you guys are right here on this rock. So after Lertu lets out his croak, you both look down at the battlefield where you watch as the bonfire-like creature right here falls with many of your companions surrounding it.
They're all just have fire extinguishers.
Yeah, they're all just like going to town on it. You see, let's see. You see a bunch of the Farkle squad surrounding it. You see Helpening. You see one of the Mithril guards here. You see one of the Gnolls. And then in the back you see Brett and another member of the Farkle squad. And you also see the large dragon up top. What are you guys doing right now?
we gotta get to the dragon. Right?
Why?
That's our dragon.
I know, but why do we have to get to it?
I thought that was a part of the plan.
No,
Get
the
'em
plan for
broken out?
retreat was your dragon flying into the air.
Oh, that's true, that's true.
I carry Akani's body down to the group.
Okay. As you climb down with the body, and Vap, are you following?
Yeah, and or helping.
Okay.
If Blurtube looks to be struggling.
So as you guys both carry him down, as he's much bigger than both of you.
No, I just hop
Yeah.
using slow fall.
Okay. I was gonna make you take a little bit of damage, but
Yeah.
but as you go down, you see that the battle has now ended, and everyone's kind of like now gathering themselves, kind of like some people kind of just falling to the ground and breathing into their knees. You see as Brett rushes back, and then you see as the gnoll also rushes back and kind of climbs the stairs.
Okay. Well, I'm hopping down too, and I do not have slow fall, so not looking good. Once I get down there, I'll help her to get the body over there
Okay.
to where everybody's kind of collecting.
As you guys do reach the group, Farkle comes up and meets you guys. Well, we've defeated them all, but we've suffered some great loss ourselves and kind of motions towards the group, which is a lot smaller than you initially came with.
I nod to looking to the ground, all sad.
I have no idea what he said.
Yeah, no. But you understand his meaning.
Yeah.
He's sad. Then he kind of looks to Vap and I'll be going around making sure everyone that is still standing is staying that way. And kind of like goes and helps up the Mithril guard that's sitting next to you guys.
Yeah, we gotta make sure the bodies of our men get back to Broken Wheel. I translate for Lurtug, and I'm like, no corpses stay here.
But yeah, I carry
Mister."
Akani to the dragon.
Okay.
Yeah. I do a sweep looking for our soldiers around the base of this place. It's pretty
Okay.
big.
As you go around, there's a lot of dead creatures, but there's not a lot of dead allies around this area.
I'm also gonna go around looking for the bodies of dead creatures, and I just want to harvest everything that I can.
Okay.
Hey.
You said no dead gets left.
No, our men.
if you want to, there's a bunch of imps lying around, and you know that they have poison, so
Yeah.
you can harvest
Yeah.
like a shit ton of poison here.
Yeah, poison, claws, tails,
Mm-hmm.
anything that
Yeah.
is like unique.
Is
That
this planning to what you're gonna do post being an adventure?
Yes.
sure. Vap, as you look around, you see Brett over here crying.
Oh man.
And as you approach, you see Garnus lying on the ground.
Ah! Oh my god! Do you say Garnus?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And as you get closer, it looks like Garnus is no longer breathing.
Jeez. Hey, I rush to his side just in case, and I'm checking his pulse.
Okay, make a medicine check.
Oh, good news, dude. I got like a +7. Oh. That's not great. It's 14.
Okay, that's enough. You go to check for a pulse, and there isn't one. And as you're checking him, you can see that Brett is like pumping healing spells into him, but it's not having any effect.
Panic. I put a scaly hand on Brett's shoulder. I shake my head at him.
Okay, and he stops and goes in for a hug.
Yeah, Brett. I'm glad we're best friends after everything we did to Brett.
You were in the initial group.
I was there. I was the person, or it was like, you know what? Let's not kill him. Let's enslave him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now look at him. He's a 10 out of 10 adventurer. An ally to Garnus in his prime. Yeah.
But yeah, it does appear that Garnus is completely dead at this point.
Oh my gosh. I give him one of those back pats that's like, okay, bud, it's time. You know what I'm talking about? Like the quick 2-tap.
Mm-hmm.
And I go over here and motion for him to pick him up.
Okay. And yeah, he goes ahead and picks up Garnus and starts bringing him back to the dragon. Still stricken with grief, but knows this isn't the place.
Wow. That's really tragic.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Man, you had to go on and do that.
And if you want to continue looking around, as Lertug is doing his thing,
Adding down bodies.
Yeah. You, along with some of the other group members, kind of look around. And none of your allies are down below, but up top you find that the 3 Knoll brothers, only one is still standing.
After I
Oh my
harvest
gosh!
the I'm gonna pile them all up as well.
Okay.
Whoa. I set my character down, and suddenly I was surrounded. I didn't see them until I dropped down.
Oh, yeah.
I was like in the middle of those coordinates. Oh my gosh.
But they're up top. But with a little more consoling from you, as well as Farkle, who's kind of going around with you at this point, kind of consoles him, and Farkle, with the last of the Knoll brothers, picks up the 2 and brings them down to the dragon.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oof.
Is there anything I'd be able to harvest off of the fire dude?
As he's laying there, it seems like the fire is slowly going out, and there's not really anything other than just a fire. So there's not much to harvest from him.
Okay.
You could harvest like coal or embers, but it's nothing special.
Then I'm gonna harvest all the different demon parts off of this guy.
Okay.
Do you want me to make a roll for that?
I actually have the demon parts. I just have to pull it up real quick.
Because Lertug recognized all the demon parts.
Yeah. So, there's no like specific like I know this demon, but you get a leg that has ends in a hoof, similar to like a minotaur. You have one that looks kind of like a dragon leg that ends in like the dragon claw. The arm looks somewhat like a bone arm, but it's the same structure as like a full composed arm, almost like an exoskeleton. The other arm looks almost like an insect arm that's like long and gangly with like long sharp claws at the end. And then the main torso and head is that of a like standard devil of like red skin and 2 long horns.
Okay.
So being that I'm at the gate here, I step out and kind of look over the battlefield.
Okay.
How are things looking out here? Is everything on fire? I'm still on fire.
Yeah, so you see a bunch of those brute-like creatures outside, and they've all been completely killed. As you look down further, you see that one tiefling creature you guys killed. Sorry. And then you see the walking furnace has also been killed, and then the fire people have also been knocked down. But you also see 4 of the Mithril Guard out here that have also been killed.
Thanks.
Should be 4.
What a gruesome sight. Okay, I head back into the door and get back to my team.
Okay. And at this point, they've all kind of gathered together. Lertug is just finishing up getting all of like the creatures piled together and getting all of his stuff. And they've pretty much just loaded all of the dead allies back onto the dragon with the Spearnf and Spearnf on driving it. And
I'm really glad those 2 are okay. That would have just been a nightmare. It's really bad.
Yeah, they were protected from the battlefield being above it on a dragon. But they start loading up all of the dead allies onto it. And you, as you get down there, you see the Mithril Guard explaining where his allies are, so they're gonna like fly out there.
Okay.
So as that's happening, they take off to they take off to go pick up those.
Okay. Dang.
So you guys are left with let's see. You guys are left with the remaining allies being the Farkle Squad, Brett, Solison, the baby dragon, and one of the Gnolls and one of the Mithril Guard.
When Umbra exploded, did he leave behind any like goo?
Make a survival check.
I have advantage on survival.
Yeah, you see some residue along like a small crater that he created.
I'm gonna bottle that up.
Okay. It takes a little bit of time, just because you have to like, you're scraping it off of stone, but you can get a majority of it.
So I'm coming to a realization here. My dragon, didn't it die?
Yeah.
In the... Okay. I wonder if I tracked my spells. I wonder if it kept that.
I believe the rule with your Drake is that you get it once a day, or you can expend spells to do it.
Okay. I have some spell slots.
You also have carts outside too.
Oh, that's true. Let us go buy carts, just in case something decides to, like, jump our jimmies on the way back. That would just be insult to injury, honestly.
Jump our jimmies.
Yeah, jumping them. Yeah. Just watch. It would be like Cave Bear. It would be like, surprise, motherfuckers. Thought you were free.
Yeah, you guys just defeat Umbra, the self-proclaimed god. And then on the way back, a grizzly bear takes you guys out.
A tragedy. Okay. I begin to kind of push people along towards the outside.
Okay. Is
Like,
there
it's a
anything?
broken wheel.
Yeah. Is there anything else you guys would like to do here?
Yeah, I want to loot the boss room for everything.
Okay.
Books, riches, knowledge.
Make an investigation.
Well,
Okay. Among the books, you see they're not so much like literature, but they're more like plans that Umbra has created, and it's like renditions of plans that slightly change between like journal to journal. And like by the end, it's like the plan has completely changed, but the similarities between each book is pretty similar. So it looks like he's been planning his escape for quite some time. And it's like, you know, bookshelf upon bookshelf of these journals. Along the back wall you see, I guess, along the back wall and right here you see maps. And one map you see kind of like a similar map to the one that you, or actually I don't know if you've seen it, but it's, it looks like a half-complete map that you've seen in Lur's place, where it's only showing like the Dragonfolk ruins. So it's like a very old map that hasn't been updated with the new, the new races coming in. It looks like it would be a map before then. The other map looks like it's this map, but has been drawn on, and the towns have been like crudely placed, and roads have been
still
drawn.
Getting information about outside.
Mm-hmm.
We got a traitor amongst us.
Bum, bum, bum.
Along the back corner, it shows gold, but there's no money, but there is piles of what looks to be magical like equipment, but it looks to be half done, and none of it
is exactly what I'm looking to take.
Okay. It looks like none of it is in like working condition, or if it is, it doesn't really do anything useful.
Perfect.
But there's just like a bunch of different, like, you know, a helmet that you put it on, and it, or if you want to put it on, but a helmet that's kind of like kind of glowing, but only faintly. Seems like he was trying some stuff, but maybe not accomplishing much.
Perfect. Bunch of unfinished magic stuff. Yeah, I grabbed like everything.
Okay. It would take you a couple trips just to carry everything, because I don't think you have a like handy haversack or anything.
Nope.
All right. So it takes you a couple trips. So if you want to do that, everyone else kind of gathers outside.
Do I notice he's hauling stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. I spend spell slot and then resummon dragon to help them.
Okay. With that, you guys can get in like one trip.
Yeah, I'm like,
And
go
then
on.
after everything is loaded in, I'm going to come down to the pile of bodies down here
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to continuously breathe poison onto this entire group.
Okay.
I can do it another 5 times.
Okay. The first couple breaths doesn't really do much as they're imps, so they have resistance or immunity, I don't remember. But as they are decaying and the poison's like getting underneath their skin, it's starting to corrode and they're now kind of just like gooped up.
Yeah, and then after my last thing, I want to catch some cloth on fire and throw it into a pile of bodies.
Okay. Yeah, and as you do it, goes ablaze. I was just gonna do that.
What are you up to with that? Just making sure a evil necromancer doesn't come on by, or like?
What? No, like all of their bodies are scalped for everything useful. There's nothing useful left there. I'm just getting rid of the rest of it. You said no bodies left.
Yeah, I didn't mean it like that. That's okay. Yeah.
Okay, so things are looted, things are cleaned, bodies are picked up. And I am also loading up all the books, like all of them, onto the dragon.
Okay.
Like anything that I can move out of here is being moved out of here.
Okay, cool.
And then afterwards, I will, I guess, probably on the Drake, leave back out to
Yeah, if you wanted to, the maps themselves are connected to the table, but you could like cut around the map and then just pick up like the paper part.
I'll take the maps.
Okay. But after that is all done and done.
Oh, more bodies out here. I'm gonna take everything I can off of these.
Okay. Make a survival check.
When are you gonna get off the fire, people?
28.
Okay. So yeah, again, with these fire guys, you're not really able to get much as their bodies are kind of like self-imploding and burning up, so you could get ash. This furnace creature, you get like a bunch of useful metal, or actually it's like furnace body seems to be still intact. If you want that.
Yeah, I want to take its furnace body.
Okay.
What is that? Is that like a big cauldron?
It's like a big furnace.
Oh.
So
Witchy.
like, I'm gonna use it for blacksmithy stuff.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm actually probably gonna sell it to a blacksmith to use it for blacksmith. Yeah.
There's this tiefling creature. It seems like he has like some components, but it seems like not much on him other than the normal tiefling stuff.
So you're saying I can get tiefling bones and hide?
Yep. If you would like to.
Yep.
Okay. And then the brutes up here are very similar to the ones down low where they're self-imploding, but you can...
Yeah, I am gonna gather up some fire monster ash stuff.
Okay.
Like in Skyrim, it's just fire salts.
Pretty much.
Fire salts. It's a good component.
Yeah, and then after I've gathered up everything and all the bodies are gathered and everything, I am ready to head out.
You're just fucking loaded.
Yeah, so Lertug is loaded head to toe with all of his stuff, plus all the stuff he's put on your Drake.
And then I'm gonna load it into our cart.
Yeah,
so
and
our cart's gonna be majorly weighed down.
Yeah.
I will dump one of the things of water out and start filling some stuff in the barrel.
Okay.
So we don't have an entire barrel of water also weighing us down. I'll still keep the other one because that's my sleeping barrel.
Mm-hmm.
The sleeping barrel.
It's also highly poisonous.
Oh. Just your like weird body fluid cocktail.
Yeah, there's like weird like that scum that's on the top of the water.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Or maybe it just looks like suds, like a cute little bubble bath when you get in.
No, I'm guessing it's more like oil on top of water.
No, yeah. I like that.
So as you guys are getting us all loading, it's really strange because as you step out, let's see if this, as you step out of the barrier, all the heat disappears, and the barrier is still like shattered, but it's still containing all of the heat. And as you step out, all of like the creatures disappear. All of the craters made during the battlefield have disappeared, and it looks just like the mountain, as if it hadn't been touched.
Whoa.
It looks like the barrier is just pretty much creating an image of what the mountain looks like from the outside.
Oh yeah.
And then Spiarf and Spirit kind of come up and tell you all that they'll head back ahead of the group just to bring the dead back and tell the townspeople what happened.
Okay. Yeah, I give them a cheerful kobold thumbs up.
Alright. Then, is there now anything else you guys want to do here?
I don't believe so.
Yeah. Roll out.
Okay, loading up the carts. It is a long, quiet trip back. People seem to be pretty sad. But you guys take the same path back, avoiding really any creatures that seem to be going along the way. The night you camp out at the Purple Worm area, where you guys may camp the night before, you hear a large shattering sound, and you look back to see the barrier around the mountain has completely broken, and the trees around it are kind of being pushed back by the heat. But then it kind of just swings back. You can kind of see the red glow of the mountain now. Is there anything you guys want to do along your trip?
No.
Yeah, just general consoling the sad.
Okay.
If we are, I will gather more bones and stuff from those wyverns, or the worms, purple worms.
Okay.
And then if we pass that that dinosaur-esque creature,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna gather some stuff off of that as well.
Okay. Yeah, you can do both of those.
Okay.
Alright.
But other than that, it's just, general hunting to feed ourselves during the trip.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So then, you guys do travel along for 3 to 4 days, depending on how fast you guys want to travel. Making stops as necessary. But you eventually come back to Broken Wheel. As you guys approach the gate, it opens as you're driving up.
So the walls are dope.
Yeah. Yeah, and you do see that some work has been done on the walls. They are now completely reinforced with stone. And then a trench has been dug in front with, I forget what these are called. Palisades, yeah.
Palisades.
Palisades in front. So, it looks like it would be made for defense. But as you guys roll your carts in, you see that the townsfolk have, all the townsfolk that remain in town have gathered up and are kind of, clapping at your guys' return. You can tell that they are sullen and have probably been told of what has happened, but oh, thank you. But they are congratulating you guys on getting home.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So yeah, you guys roll in and kind of like park the carts to the side, and then everyone starts gathering up. All right. Chrome addresses the group as you guys pull in and kind of gives you a moment to gather yourselves, and addresses all of you. There isn't enough that we could do to show our appreciation for what you've all accomplished. We can discuss later what we can offer as a reward, but for now, you all must be extremely tired. We've prepared an ample amount of food for you all, and your chambers have already been taken care of whenever you want, and kind of motions towards the center of town.
I translate this to her too.
Okay.
And then I pull Crom over to the back of the cart.
Okay, and he follows.
And I offer him the furnace.
Okay.
A gift.
And he nods and shows his appreciation, shakes your hand.
Yeah, and in Giant I say,
I have no idea where that went.
oh, I didn't see it come up.
Oh, wait.
Oh, you're probably rolling Geo.
Yeah.
Is Crom immune to poison?
I don't remember, but it doesn't matter because he rolled a 17.
And also I'm touching gauntlets, not him.
That's true.
But
it still technically counts as touch, so. But anyway.
Yeah, because we share a language, so he can talk.
Mm-hmm.
So I just say, use this to help the town.
Thank you.
I won't be staying much longer.
We understand, but we do hope that you do come back to visit every now and then. You are now our cherished ally.
I will definitely.
Okay.
And then I croak.
With that, he nods and gives
it's kind of like a cheerful chuckle croak.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's nice. While this is happening, I'm like, doing that like 2-hand shake of like citizens as I walk back to the stables. I'm gonna go check on my guys.
Okay.
But I'd like to be like, thank you for defending the town. The walls are beautiful. And just like going down the line, like, oh,
yeah.
You guys the best. And then I'm like, okay, where are my fellas?
Okay. And before you guys can take off, the Farkle squad, or Farkle kind of catches you guys. Both of you and Crom. We thank you for putting your trust in us and for allowing us to partake in this battle that will surely be passed down through generations, but for now we will be returning to Venari to tell everyone that things are now okay. And they all four of them shake your guys' hands and congratulate you guys and kind of give off a good sending, but they're taking off right away.
Whoa! Bye, Farkles.
Oh god. Crom and the Farkle squad are all the same. I think I didn't grab Crom though. And going off of that note, the one remaining Mithril guard also like follows up with that, and he kind of comes up to you guys. I'm truly sorry for the way we treated you guys. It was an honor fighting by your side, but I will also be taking my leave back to Herbs, and he like gives like a awkward bow and takes off to his own cart.
I have no idea what any of them said. So I don't understand.
No, it's all in common. But after the conversation, you see them leave, so.
Wow.
Okay. And then, Bab, you said you were heading off to the stable?
Yeah, I go and check on my fellas.
Okay. And as you get back there, you see Theo or Tio, whichever you prefer. Excuse me. Is there a monkey on the roof of the guild building? Levi?
What? I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do it.
But you get back there and Theo/Tio follows you and kind of talks to you like the whole way about like how he's been taking care of them and like their different personalities and how fun it's been and doing all that stuff.
Oh, that's very nice. Yeah, lots of head scratches for Sperm and and Crunchy.
Sperm with a B?
Sperm,
That's what I said.
Chompers, Rez, Lola, Crunchy.
Yeah, the whole lot. I'm like, my fellas.
Wait, I can do this now.
We almost died.
Because he's a polar. I changed.
Oh, you changed his
Sperm
base to white.
Oh, that's nice.
Sperm, the white bear.
He's the polar bear.
Oh man. Okay. But
I follow or make my way to Vap shortly afterwards.
I'm just like, be like, look, and I hold up different animals to him, be like, wow, check out this one.
I pet them all.
No, I like go to show him Crunchy, and then I like pull him away real quick. I'm like, no, no touch.
Is Crunchy not immune to poison?
Well, you know, I don't know. He's a centipede.
We'll see, yeah.
So
Okay.
that actually comes to the point that I was coming to find Fat for. I'm trying to find an animal that I can use to
Giant centipede, I found it.
to
It's not, but I'll say it is, because that's what I already
pull a
said.
cart.
Oh.
That I would be able to handle.
I go over to all my fellas.
Well,
How
it might
big
not-
is Lola?
I'm also not saying it has to be one of these, but if you'd be able to help me find
Oh, I can find you a guy. The guys love me. Just walk right up one and they'll just follow me around.
So
Yeah.
then we will embark on a journey to find a creature that can pull a cart that I can handle.
Yeah, post cute mission.
Okay.
Side quest.
Or it just shows flashes of us like in the woods, and then all of a sudden something jumps out,
Yeah, a
And
little
then it's-
montage.
and then it flashes to like Paisley petting it, and then me petting it, and then it's
Yeah.
now my carriage puller.
Yeah. What's a good animal that's like a good size? Maybe also immune to poison?
As you guys are looking through the forest, you find one of the bee snakes that was mentioned before that does live in the forest.
Snake?
Yeah. And it's like half bee, half snake.
Oh, I just looked it up. He's perfect. I love him.
Is it a thing?
Oh. Well, I'm just seeing pictures.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, this one? It's a D&D one? His name's just called Fuzzy Buzzy. He's
That's
like
it.
half bumblebee, half kitty.
How'd you find it?
I've no idea. I typed in bee snake D&D and it came up with bee rex.
Oh, I saw that one.
I
That
saw
was a
that,
little
too.
bit far
Oh,
fetched.
fuzzy buzzy. Yeah.
Fuzzy Buzzy.
All right, I'll pull that up, and that's what you guys find.
The big old one. Yeah.
I am not seeing this.
Into the Discord.
Boom. I'll also go live so you can see it.
Like, the cutest friend you could have ever asked for.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Is that big enough to pull a cart?
You guys find an adult one, so it's more like a leopard or lion.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But his name should be the same. It should still be Fuzzy Buzzy. Yeah. And I'm like, well, now you have something to pull your cart.
so yeah,
What
you guys
now?
snapshots of you guys climbing through the forest and one of you pointing while the other is standing majestically.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like a still shot of you guys befriending this Fuzzy Buzzy.
Nice.
Nice.
It's a giant one. It's not a tiny fae as it's mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
No, we found a huge one. He's perfect.
But other than that, in the coming days, this is kind of getting into the epilogue, unless you guys want to do anything else.
I don't believe so. So after we find this, I'm gonna start. Lortuga's gonna start journeying between towns, selling off creature wares of
Okay.
exotic creatures. But he's only gonna deal with people that shake his hand. And he also doesn't speak common.
So it's
So
a real
he's just-
point and gesture kind of
Yep,
business trade.
Yep. And then he doesn't understand money, so he just like offers it to them, and then when they offer him some, he'll just be like more or less. He's real honest about what he thinks is fair.
Mm-hmm.
And once it's right, he'll hand him and he'll take the gold and leave.
Right. And along your travels, you go from town to town, kind of selling your wares, and between towns, kind of battling creatures to restock. But eventually, you do find that a couple people have started following your same route, and you meet up with both Billy the Mage and Eggard the Goblin.
Hey, Eggard!
And they offer to invite you into their caravan.
Wow.
And I join.
Dope.
Billy the Mage!
Billy the Mage here.
Whenever we enter town, I croak like an entrance croak,
Yeah.
Dope.
so people
Oh, yeah.
know when we show up.
Amazing.
Is this the part where we...
Yeah, if you want to give your epilogue.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'd like to woo the Furbold. the stable keep that we often get horses from and then kill horses from.
Yeah. So Virior manages the stable, and after some time, if you want to get together with him, he does respond with in kind.
Yeah. And we just have a weird group of goofy animals and with his horses. And then between my time tending to the animals there, I'd like to train the next Broken Wheel Guild members, like Theo and Tio.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. Maybe apprenticing those two. Because, man, they were there from the beginning, and I love them so much.
So yeah, you spend the remainder of your days kind of retiring from adventuring yourself, and kind of have like a joint partnership with Viryor, and eventually, instead of just having like the small space behind the guild house, you extend his stable at the edge of town and kind of make it like twice as big, so that like one section is for his like farm animals, and then the other section is like for all these like monster creatures that you've picked up.
Yeah.
The
The biggest, happiest family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then shooting at kids in the woods.
Yeah.
Be like, train harder.
No.
I feel like this is the perfect way for a cute little kobold to grow old.
Dope. Yeah, and then just for the other main people in town, in the coming days, a service is held for those who fell in the battle. It turns out really well, and there are many people who visit even from other towns to be there and remember the heroes. But going into more of the people, Chrome is eventually named the new guild leader and leads Broken Wheel to eventually be one of the major guilds on the continent that people regularly go to get like shit done. If it's anything dangerous, Broken Wheel is the place to go to. More Death Cobbler continues adventuring, leading his new group with Beepers, Sneakers, McSqueakers, Griff, and the newest addition to the guild, Theo.
Aw, yeah.
Lur continues his research in both the...
I give all the books and everything that we got to Lur.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Lur continues his research into both arcane and the history of the Dragonfolk. And after some time, Zealous is given free reign and helps Lur in his research. Crom later hires Zealous as the official guild magic craftsman.
Dope furnace now.
Yeah, and they have a super dope furnace that does heat and melt metal at a much faster rate and can be used for higher up metals, as in mithril and things like that.
New mithril guard.
Right.
Yeah, reform for those fuckers. They were really they were lame. Those are the guys who didn't help us, right? Or like was really reluctant to.
Yeah, they were
like, yeah, stay back here.
they were pretty much just like, they were super racist because they came from the capital, and then they were only going to do what they were told to do and nothing more.
Yeah, but now look at us. From being like a ragtag group of random ass creatures to like a booming guild, like one of the top dogs.
Yeah.
Eventually, Lurtug learns super broken common.
Oh yeah.
And Billy the Mage is more than happy to help you with that, and Eggard helps because Eggard only knew Goblin at one point and can teach you kind of
what you learned.
Yeah, this is how I was taught.
Aw. I really hope though that when you do speak in common, the words you can get out are in Billy the Mage accent. That'd be too cute. Oh dang.
Alright, is there anything major that you guys want to know of, any people or epilogue type things?
Wow, I'm certain we missed a lot of stuff.
What happened with Patrick?
I'll go over him in the recap, I guess.
Then I
Yeah.
don't believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well then, we'll end the campaign there.
Wow.
Thank
Look
you
at us
guys.
We've been playing this for over a year.
Yeah, it's
like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Oh
it's
yeah.
been
I
quite
was
a
thinking
while.
it's been like 2, but maybe it just has been a year and a half.
Well, we started right as Talespire came out for the beta access.
Yeah, we were playing other campaigns before then, but actually no, we played this one right before Talespire came out because the first like 3 games were in person.
It's true. It's true.
So
we went from like never finishing anything, just random adventures, to like really gluing together for this.
Yeah, this was supposed to be like a one-shot.
This whole campaign was supposed to be people didn't show up or we had to postpone a separate campaign. This was our backup because it was just supposed to be like small little one-shots we were gonna go do.
Yeah, it went from that to like, dude, part of like the heart of this group. Like, this was, I don't know, staple gameplay for us. Like, yeah.
Well, thank you guys for playing. That was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Levi's like, I'm still here.
But yeah, at this point, I'm gonna switch over to doing like a tell all of the campaign, just everything that was missed, anything that I feel like we didn't cover very much, or just things that I made that just never really happened.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what we missed. I know that there was a lot of stuff you wanted to talk to me about.
Yeah, no, like that's kind of the point of this is like, if I know eventually I'm gonna be able to say anything anyway, I can hold back and not tell you guys.
I'm gonna miss you, Penis Tower.
I'm gonna miss Garnus.
Penis Towers for the whole campaign. It's amazing. All right.
I'm gonna watch your recap later. I'm gonna go to sleep for work tonight. But I'll watch it on one of my breaks and probably text you at 4 a.m. about it. So stay tuned for that.
Dope.
Bye guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay, Kyle. Number 1 thing you wanted to tell us.
There's so much.
Number 1. What is number 1?
Number 1 thing is that fucking creature in the forest.
I'm the only one who knew about
that. So, I'll get into it in more detail. But the base of it's a giant squirrel.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't meant to be anything super epic. But like one time I mentioned you guys saw it and then you did nothing about it, and then I mentioned it again, you guys kept like being real curious about it, so I decided to just build it up until you guys actually went to it, and nothing ever happened with it. But anytime you guys traveled between towns, I made sure to mention it.
And only one character in the campaign actually knew what it was.
Yeah, so
and that was Iker.
Yeah, Iker knew about it.
He knew of it as just the apex.
But yeah, it's a giant squirrel that stands above the trees. All right, but I'll probably just go like town to town.
Okay.
So I don't have much on each town, so this might go quicker than I was thinking. But Herbs, the capital city. The council, who were like the Dark Knight, the High Priest Yua, I'm blanking on their names, but the gnome that controlled all of like the stores in town, Advisor Flaxian, and Arnhold the Sovereign. You guys didn't really go into town very much, so there wasn't a lot of development in the towns for your guys' perspective, but I had set up the council to be pretty corrupt. The king was... Yeah, the king was a puppet figure. He never once talked, and it was always everything was told to Flaxian, who then went and whispered to the king, and it didn't matter what he was whispering because Flaxian was in charge. Yua was the connection between the Feywild and the material plane. She first made contact with the Feywild and helped create the portal that then brought Phoebia, Paisley's old character, in, and kept that portal open between the Feywild and the material plane.
That then Patrick abused.
Yes, yeah, Patrick super abused it because he got a coin that let him do that from anywhere, and then he also had a pouch that duplicated coins.
That was so cool when I thought of that.
Yeah. There was the Canister Manor. You guys never went to the upper district of the capital, but the Canisters were all werewolves, and they were one of the higher ups in town and made a lot of the decisions. The North Ruin was excavated. Yeah, that was one of the only portals that you guys didn't use. The other portal that you guys never used was to the very north in the snow. That was to the dungeon that you guys went to with like the 4 elementals. That was like a real long time ago though.
Yeah, it was the start of scheduling conflicts.
Yeah. Moving on to Navis. Again, you guys barely went here. I think you only went here once and you died. So, again, not a lot of progression.
Paisley's bunny character lives there.
I'll get to that. This place also had a thieves guild. So when you guys destroyed the one in Broken Wheel, the remaining fled to Navis. And if you guys had gone back to Navis, you would have noticed a lot more trouble with thieves. Rue, Paisley's previous bunny person, eventually became a captain of her own ship. Cassia, the dockmaster that hit on Qwerty, had a statue made of him built after he was eaten by the Leviathan.
Cool.
The Leviathan wasn't the strongest creature out there, so if you guys did want to shift into more of like a sea campaign, I was prepared for that. But you never went back there, so never used any of that. And then moving on to Venari. You guys, I did most of the work in like for other towns in Venari because that was the closest one, and you guys at first did seem like you were gonna go back and forth between a bit. So I touched on it a little bit, but Zarek, the elf that was the only survivor of the party you guys ran into going to the South Ruins.
I don't remember that.
I think the third session, it was pre-streamed for both of us, so everyone knows. The first time the party went down to the South Ruins, they ran it, or no, it was the second time they went down. They ran into a party from Venari and immediately just killed them.
We didn't kill all of them. We captured one.
And Zarek was brought back and then immediately released by Garnus. And that kind of like started the hatred from Venari to Broken Wheel, which was surprising for me because I made Venari as like a sister town that was going to help you guys a bunch. But it immediately ended. And the funny thing about that was the party, if you had talked to them more, was supposed to be going to the coastal ruin down south, but then they got lost and went to the South Ruins from you guys. So they actually weren't even supposed to be there. And then Zarek later told everyone that he had defeated the Leviathan, but in reality made a pact with Leviathan and gain more power because of it, and was going to use that power against Broken Wheel. And if you guys had stayed around in Venari more than a day, he would have attacked you in your sleep. Let's see.
The only time we stayed more than a day was from prom.
Yeah, and even then like more than 24 hours. Yeah, and when you went there, they had him restrained.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Did the members of Broken Wheel that were housed there eventually make their way back to Broken Wheel?
Yeah, everyone eventually made their way back to Broken Wheel, and it grew back up. So everyone there was kept safe. Also in Venari, there was a guy named Travis at the apothecary, and he made gunpowder for like the few bombs that you guys found. So if you talked to him, you could have had access to gunpowder.
Was that the guy that I had the IOU from?
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of your characters, I think Patrick.
Patrick.
Yeah, had an IOU from him, but never followed through with it, so. The bathhouse had 2 Kuatoa running it, and were parents of the 2 Kuatoa that made the bathhouse in Broken Wheel.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. The temple worshipped Malar, and had a statue depicting a giant squirrel who is the creature in the forest.
Is that why it's giant?
Because
the Kuatoa?
So, yeah, so
now, Jesus.
It's really just a giant squirrel, but they revered it as a god. And if you guys had ever killed it, it would have made a lot more problems with Venari. But Iker found new reason for his life after reading the book that told him that he really wasn't special.
That he was abducted as a child for illicit means.
Yeah, he'd been lied to his whole life, so he ran away, and that's why he stopped being an adventurer, and he found new reason for his life by helping the squirrel protect the forest. So he kind of paired up with the squirrel. Yeah, so moving on, the fight tower that's like northeast of Broken Wheel. This was made as a training area for the dragon folk. And when if you guys would have fought to death, then you would have just been transported to the beginning. So it's kind of like a no holds bar fight till you die.
We found that out because of because of John Smith's board.
Mm-hmm. And then if you guys had gone back there would have been a portal that lead to the last like section of floors that you made it to. So you didn't have to like
continue where you left off.
Yeah, as long as you make it to a checkpoint. So you don't just have to redo it all again. The east tower that you guys made Broken Wheels. This was actually Zealous's tower that he used in the time between betraying his people and when the new races showed up. So that was kind of like his base of operations. And then speaking of Zealous, just so everyone knows, he was a dragonfolk researcher in his time. He designed magical items. He was a part of the team that created Umbra. And it was like a real Jurassic Park kind of moment where they were just seeing what they could make and didn't think of the repercussions of making Umbra. But when Umbra was made, Zealous made a deal with him, and the deal was that he tells Umbra where all the dragonfolk are, and he gets to live, and then Umbra cursed him with undying, so that he can't die, but he can still like feel pain and stuff. Umbra went on to kill most of the dragonfolk, but was locked up by the last few dragons, and Thorban, the Pit Fiend, kind of like combined their forces and created the force field. Yeah. And then Zealous later killed the dragon folk in the Feywild because he both wanted to kill them before they could create another Umbra, and he didn't want them to become strong enough and find out about him and that he's still alive. Pretty much Zealous's whole spiel is that he's going to go with whoever's strongest. So you guys trusting him kind of right off the bat was iffy, but after he realized that you guys were strong enough to have a good chance against Umbra, he sided with you guys. But for the first while, he was really just looking for a time to escape. At the Umbra Mountain, Umbra was trapped here, but the mountain was originally for the bonfire creature, and they were just trapped together. The bonfire creature could summon other infernal creatures, but then they couldn't leave. The tiefling-like creature had ties to Brigand, Levi's old character background, because he was tortured in hell. So yeah, that never came to happen, but that was like his tie to it. There were keys that you guys got from the desert ruin, if you guys remember that allowed you to pass through the barrier at the desert ruin. Those keys would have also worked on the barrier at the mountain. So if you guys had brought one of those, then Umbra would have gotten out earlier.
Oh, good thing.
Yeah.
Good thing we didn't.
Yeah, you guys like immediately gave those away. So I was like, all right, it's not gonna happen, but that was a possibility. The Underdark, it was mainly meant as a huge just waste of time. They had no interest in anything outside of the Underdark. But there was some pretty good magic items in the back of the Beholder's Lair, but you guys left those because of the magma filling up the room. Let's see, at the Dragon Capital, past the Underdark cavern, there was a bunch of monsters that escaped from the capital from being tested on and mutated. There was also a hag there that you guys kind of just like passed by, but it saw you just like wipe out everyone. It was like, well, I'm not gonna fuck with them. Last couple things. In the Feywild, you guys, there was a satyr village that you guys explored quite a bit. You also explored the Dragonfolk Mountain quite a bit. There was mostly tribal-minded people, but there was Solison, the Sun Dragon, that later was brought back to Broken Wheel. And Eutis, the scientist, who seemed smarter than the rest of them. Solison, when killed or when he dies, creates an explosion and reverts to a baby sun dragon, kind of like a phoenix. And then you guys brought him back, and he's now riding on Brett's shoulder. There was also a Spriggan village that you guys didn't even go to. And if you had gone there, they would have asked for assistance with the Black Forest. And the Black Forest is... unknown to the Spriggans, is the area that Eutis, the researcher, was dumping failed experiments, like potions, equipment, and animals, just into this section of the forest that was just killing off the forest and also creating these large mutated monsters. Ugh. And then finally, Broken Wheel. The woodworker Arth and the leather worker Darissa started off not liking each other, but slowly ended up together. But you guys never really looked into them. You guys didn't use the general store very often, but the two people that owned that were Theo/Theo's grandparents. This one's pretty interesting. The two halflings at the inn, Riven and Belsi, they were cannibals that abducted people coming through. But you guys skipped over like the two quests that you would have like had any opportunity of seeing that, so it just never came up.
Oh.
The vault in the guild house was broken into secretly by Patrick. your old character Dakota, so
What?
it slowly lost money over time. The Softmall family that had like the guard, and then there was a mom with a newborn, and then their dead son that you guys had found in the South Ruin when you first went there. They were kind of like a background family, but they were also there. Didon, the new Dragonborn guard, who's just like a super strict guard because he's new. He also had the pun of being a copper dragon because he was like a police officer.
Copper.
Yeah. You guys never went into the library, but it was like one of the first buildings. But if you had, you could have used it to find more information about like the explored world. So if you wanted to learn anything about herbs, Venari, Navis, or
probably would have told us that this is a giant squirrel.
yeah, exactly. They would have told you all of that if you guys had wanted to research anything about the explored world. Also, like any like important people, if you want to know about like the council, or if you want to know about like the leaders of each of the towns or how the guilds work or anything. The casino was shut down after discovering the Thieves Guild underneath it. Dimitri, the owner, was one of the Thieves Guild members who fled to Navis, so if you went there, you may have run into him and you could have turned him in for a reward. And finally, I don't know if it came up in game at all, but Patrick, Dakota's old character, made the bathhouse into a front for his drug den, selling drugs made by hallucinogenic plants he got from the Feywild. And that's all I had for background stuff that you guys missed. Unless you guys wanted any more information. Anything you guys can think of?
No, there was a couple things in there that I didn't know you had werewolves.
Yeah,
That was definitely new.
That was something that I had planned because you guys were like, "Oh, we're gonna go to the capital." I'm like, "Okay, I better have some stuff prepared there." A little.
I had a suspicion that the guy from Venari didn't actually kill the Leviathan.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that he like made a warlock style pact with him.
Yeah, he made a pact, and it was like when we were talking about like those prestige classes, and you had made a character with the rune scribe.
Rune scribe prestige class.
And the only other prestige class that I could find was it was like a cold knight, and that's what he was.
Okay.
And pretty much like any cold damage he did, it was like extra cold damage, and he could like blast himself forward and like deal cold damage to everyone in his wake. It was pretty cool, but I didn't want to like force that onto you guys, and I was only going to do that if you really went into more of like the town, but you guys were more interested in exploring the unexplored area.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, and then like the other thing, the north that had like flash frozen over. That was because that was like the first area that Umbra started going along. So like the snowy area is like from the capital, and then it just like there's a line going all the way north, and then he kind of like starts spreading out there, and that's why that area is like whenever you guys went up there, everything seemed to like have layers and layers of ice on it, as if it was just like frozen in place.
Okay.
Like the trees still had leaves, but they were frozen over, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's everything about the world. So if anyone has any more questions later on, if anyone's watching this like a year down the line, and you have a question, leave it in the comments, and I'll see if I can answer it. And if anyone wants to use this world, go for it. It's completely homebrew, and yeah, it was my first world, so it was really cool playing it.
If we get some people that want to use this, just let us know. We can always copy over all of the boards. We can copy over all of them onto one of the different sites. They have a couple different ones that share boards and stuff. Tales Bazaar and Tales Tavern are the two most popular.
Yeah, I'll probably copy over my stuff to Tales Bazaar, but yeah, if later down the line anyone wants it and can't find it, then yeah, just leave it in the comments and we can probably get it to you.
Yeah, and Kyle has notes upon notes about the world. So if there's any specific questions or things like that, or if you just have questions about going through and creating your own world, me and Kyle are both DMs. He's better than I am, but I have more experience in Dungeons and Dragons than he does. So between the two of us, we should be able to help you guys out and answer any questions. Yeah, so feel free to hit us up. Yeah, we are working on a new campaign.
Mm-hmm.
We are trying to get some stuff figured out because we have lost a few players, and we want to see if we're going to run it with just 3 of us or if we're going to try to find another person. We still have some work to do in the world. Do we want to give them a sneak peek of the town map?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so we'll show you the town map that me and Kyle painstakingly built. So far it's pretty cool. Like, we're really happy with how it turned out. This is the main town, so the guild premise is going to be we are heavily going to be focused on this one town. Doesn't mean we're not going to leave or anything like that, but the town is going to be our main map. Obviously that can change depending on situations that come up. We could just be like, you know what, screw this town, we can just move.
Yeah.
But so this is the main town that me and Kyle have put together. This is just the world map, so these buildings aren't actual buildings. You can't go inside of them. They're not furnished or anything. It's just the layout, and it's split into, what is it, 5 districts?
1, 2,
well, it's
3.
4 districts, but one of them's split.
2, 3, 4. Or it's 5 districts, and one of the districts is split, so technically 6.
And we might split the the lower district as well.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the town map that we have created. We have separated out the districts based off of the road types, for the most part. So the very southern portion of the town is going to be, I forgot what this district is called, but this is
Ash District.
The Ash District is the kind of the poorer district. The houses are makeshift, besides the main road that was originally planned, but was never fully completed. So along the main road, there are some more developed buildings that were planned there, but everything else is just kind of like thrown together where they can build houses, various shops just spread out from people's houses, various things like that. We're really excited to explore it. On the eastern side, is this the Catalyst District?
Yeah, Catalyst District.
It is split up into the lower Catalyst, which is very residential. There are just buildings everywhere, and then the northern Catalyst, which is a little bit more structured. The places there are a little bit higher end. People usually have yards and various things like that. And it's also home to the one of the main features of the Catalyst District, which is the
school,
the college.
Yeah, college
or school. I don't know if it's just college. It also houses the town's arena in the Catalyst District. Then to the west of that is the Merchant District, which is called
Payette District.
The Payette District. When you first come in, there's just stalls and storefronts everywhere. A lot of the buildings here are very tall, kind of like more like modern day office buildings, just very tall. Just going to be a lot of things going on in there. As well as the city zoo, which houses a lot of interesting and abnormal animals, some of which will be used in the arenas. Above that is the religious district.
Yeah, the Galantic District.
Galantic District. They are very structured. As you can see by the road layouts, the building layouts, everything is planned out and according to some kind of
structure there. And then right in the center northern area is the Drakesphere district. This is the wealthy district. A lot of manors, very very high end. That also houses the castle, the main castle inside. But we have all of the roads and everything planned out. We do have a map that signifies all the unique buildings, such as stores and like specific stores and various things. So even though you can't tell some areas in here, I believe this is one of them. For example, I think this is a theater.
Mm-hmm.
You obviously can't tell just how it is right now, but we do have a secondary map that will go through and do all that. Once they get this working, there's a feature where you can add in a place marker and then actually name the place marker. We're not using that right now just because we found some bugs with it where the names wouldn't go away, and it wouldn't let you interact with anything else while they were there. So we're not currently using that, but once that gets its bugs figured out and everything, we can go through and actually mark down all the various buildings. But yeah, so this is just the overworld map for this town, and as an example of what it's going to be like when we're actually playing, we have actually started working on the Drakesphere district, where we have the roads laid out. We don't have everything built up yet, but we do have the roads laid out. It'll be more like this when we're actually in Talespire playing. This will be the Drakesphere district. When we go there, this is what we will see. We'll have everything laid out. So it'll be a bunch of massive maps. And we're really excited to get this project finished and this campaign going.
Yeah.
Talespire also obviously gives us a lot more work to do to start, because you actually have to visually build everything out. But this is what we are working on currently for our next campaign. So we don't know when this will be finished. Like I said, we have a lot of work we need to do on here, but there is something in the works.
Yeah.
We'll probably do some one-shots here and there, just to fill some time and make sure you guys don't forget about us. But we will let you know when this is coming closer and closer to fruition, and then you will be there from day one.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for joining that is watching still, and thank you Dakota and Levi for playing. That was really fun.
Thank you for DMing this and creating everything for us to explore.
Dope.
It was a lot of fun, and this was your first like real DMing experience, besides little one-shots, and it was really good. So thank you.
Thanks.
All right, you guys, have a great Labor Day weekend, and we will catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.